Hey, it's Cora here, and today I am here with one of our publishers of Parents and Baby, Basil.
Hey guys, how are you? Corey asked me to come on today and talk with you guys for a few minutes because we got some questions about our community, right?
That's right. How can we build big shows and still bring in our local communities, like our lactation consultants, our doulas, our childbirth educators, to join into the shows?
So basically, it all starts with kind of our core concept. We built the first Baby Expo in 2013 around the idea of having educational seminars. And it was kind of personal. I had my second child on the way, and me and my wife were looking around and saying, where are we going to learn about some of these things, other than, getting a DVD and sticking it in the TV back in 2012 going into 2013. And when those resources didn't seem as available as I wanted them to be, I figured, hey, why not create something that has those resources and that education? So it kind of built itself originally on an educational platform. And I think that's kind of how we naturally started to flow with having ties to certain doulas, lactation consultants, different associations that had that educational content.
That's how I met you.
Yeah, in fact, it's the funny story. Cora's Corner and everything you see on Parents and Baby is part of an evolution of how we've kind of come step by step. So, we started out just a baby expo, and that transformed into a blog. The blog made way to the magazine because people wanted something in their hands, and everybody else was like, print is dead. But yet we have attendees who wanted to have something they can hold, read, bring home. We could put in the doctor's offices and stuff like that. And on the business side, everybody's like, oh, cool, more places to put advertising. But for us, this is now another medium for us to bring information to people, the way they want to consume it, how they want to consume it. And some people are very comfortable being on their mobile phone and reading a blog, and other people still want to be able to kind of sit down at night and not stare at a screen and be able to flip through something kind of traditional, and that's where the magazine came from.
So some of the videos that we've been working on, we do product reviews and we work with other companies where we can help them.
Yep. So that was part of the first thing you were asking about was how do we maintain this balance? And it's funny because I actually remember in 2013, one of the first sponsors we brought on was actually Mead Johnson, who produces the baby formula Infamil, and there were some questions that got raised, things that I wasn't even aware of at the time, in regards to lactation, breastfeeding, and some ethical dilemmas and stuff. You're familiar with at this point?
Yes, I am. So there are some, it's a violation of, let's say, the World Health Organization for some of our community partners to work with other businesses such as formula companies, because they're very strict as to how we can achieve feeding a baby. However, we also have to understand that we have to work together as a community to be able to reach out to everybody,
Well, and that was it, right? So the first question was, someone had turned around and told me, they said, well, we're not going to participate because, this is a kind of it goes against what we stand for and what we believe in, in having a corporate formula company there versus breastfeeding. And that was like kind of a little bit of an aha moment in how we were forming what it is that we were doing with Parents and Baby. And it came back to us really kind of saying, well, everything has to be informational, right? And if we're going to be an education seminar kind of based, organization, then that means we don't make the decisions for our community. Our community has to make the decisions for themselves. And that means that we have a responsibility to expose everything that we can that we're comfortable with to our community and let them make decisions on how they want to participate in things, consume things, follow up on things, and learn with them. And one of the comments I made first was, I said, listen, if all we did is do breastfeeding and doulas, then we'd be missing a huge chunk of information that the community needs. If all we did was work with formula companies and didn't have doulas that were willing to come in and participate in lactation consultants, then we'd have a community, where 20,000 people are reading the blog and all there is formula companies that are a part of it. 1,000 attendees coming to an event where all you have is formula companies and there's nothing there to support them with breastfeeding and stuff like that. So it's a struggle that we face, but for us it's all about balance, and that's kind of the core of what we're doing, is we're saying, hey, listen, we want to find ways to deliver every piece of information that we have access to our community and let them make decisions, let them decide if breastfeeding's for them, let them decide if formula is the right solution for them. It's really not our place to tell someone or impose upon them what it is that we think is the best option for them, but we have a responsibility to deliver all the information so they can decide what's best for them.
That's very true. I know when I was a new mom, there wasn't, like you, there was no information, and it was hard to find those people, the resources, the doulas, the lactation consultants, and also those other companies that could also support me in the journey. And motherhood is always changing, or parenthood is always changing, isn't it?
You know, it is, and that's funny because I think about what we were talking about in 2013, and here we are in 2017, and it's a completely different experience. It's a completely different medium how we're delivering things. I mean, I was a social media person that was recognized at Social Media Week and Cred and down at South by Southwest, and you know, I took these things and I started to apply them to this, and I'm back looking at how we're doing things in 2017. Instagram is completely different delivery method than what it is we were doing when it was just Facebook or just Twitter. So you know, it's exciting that there's always something new going on. But again, it just all comes back to as long as we're staying true to our community, which is delivering information in an educational kind of format to let them make decisions that works for them, then the people that are working with us, it's our job to balance it. So when we take in a big sponsor from a nice company like say Huggies or Mead Johnson, you know, we find a way to make sure that we work with some of the nonprofits and some of the associations to bring them in and make it affordable. So that way we're balancing the information for our community. It's very important that if we deliver one message, that we make sure that we make another message that is counter to it, supportive to it, or has new views available to our community as well. Because ultimately, this is really about our community. It's not about the money and everything else that comes along with running the shows. We all have bills to pay. We all do things because we want to better our families. But part of bettering our families is also being able to sleep well at night. And I think that commitment to our community is what helps me do that.
Thank you, Basil, for this information. I know I'm very happy to have found Parents and Baby because for me as a birth and postpartum doula, my job is to provide these resources for the families. And now I'm able to say, hey, you have all this information to you at this fingertips. Thanks, Basil, for doing this.
Well, and like I said, it's our entire team. So, you know, from the people that we work with in the local communities, the doulas and the associations, all the way to Cora as one of our spokespeople, you know, Mark, who actually handles all the logistics for our shows, the man Isaac, who's standing behind the camera right now. You know, it's a team effort, and I think that's where success comes best from, is when people work together to do things. And right now, I think we got something cool going on, and we hope our community enjoys it.